Namaskar. Welcome to this session. We are considering the Sutra, the seventh Sutra, which gives us a classification of karmas. Why did we come to this Sutra? Is that the previous Sutra mentioned that the yogi who goes for multi-bodied conditions, multi-mind conditions, he doesn't multiply his karmas. Otherwise, it was quite a logical objection that a yogi with multiple embodiments would implicate himself into the complexing karmas. But Patanjali told us that the nirmana kaya, nirmana chitta, coming out of dhyana, coming out of samadhi process, doesn't implicate the yogi. While if that is through other means such as janma, aushadhi, mantra and tapa, then it would certainly implicate, like was the case of Saubhari. Why does it not implicate yogi? Is because his chitta is anashaya. And the sixth sutra told us that tatra dhyanajam anashayam, as if the chitta is insulated. And therefore, whatever the yogi might be doing with multiple embodiments, multi-bodied conditions, yogi won't implicate himself. And that is why, since yogis' karmas are of specific and special kind, Patanjali feels it entails that he must mention the kinds of karmas here with reference to context. And therefore the seventh sutra comes and tells us karma ashukla krishnam. Karma ashukla akrishnam. Yoginaha trividha itaresham. So trividha itaresham means three kinds of karmas for others like you and me and mortals. And yogi has fourth kind of karma, which is special karma, that is called ashukla krishna karma, ashukla krishna karma. And that is why we have come to discuss the topic that we are doing now. So seventh sutra says, karma shukla krishnam yogina trividha itaresham. So yogis' karmas are ashukla akrishna, apapa apunya, vigata papa vigata punya, papa rahita punya rahita. So these are special kinds of karmas of yogi. While our karmas will be either virtuous karmas or vicious karmas or combinations of virtue and vice. So that is why our karmas are threefold. Shukla, Krishna, Shukla, Krishna. So that's how we have embarked upon this topic. So let's try to have a peep into Vyasa's scholium. He says, Chatushpadi khalviyam karma jatihi. Chatushpadi, that is four kinds, four legs, four ways. Khalu yam karma jatihi. The karma jatis are fourfold. Krishna karma, Shukla karma, Shukla Krishna karma, and Ashukla Krishna karma. That is Ashukla Akrishna karma. So Vyasa briefly explains all these, and in simple words it is Krishna karma is papa karma, vicious karma, wicked karma. Shukla karma is virtuous karma, meritorious deed, virtuous deed, punya karma. Shukla Krishna means it's a combination of the two, that a part of it we score merit and a part of it we score vice. So mixed kind of karmas, most of the karmas are mixed kind. And the third one is neither white nor black, neither punya nor papa, neither virtue nor vice, which are karmas of a yogi, karmas of a karma yogi. So these are the four kinds of karmas, and Vyasa sets describing them very, very, very briefly. Tatra Krishna duratmanam. The Krishna karma is of duratmas. The Krishna karma is that of wicked people, ignoble people, vicious people. So these are the karmas called papatma, the karmas of papatma, karmas which are out and out vicious. That's called Krishna karma. Then Shukla Krishna bahihi sadhana sadhya tatra parapida anugraha dvarena karmashaya prachaya iti. Shukla Krishna karma are mixed kinds of karma, and mostly for we mundane people and in our mundane activities, worldly activities, we have combination of the two. The external kriya, the bahya kriya, and the instruments through which the karmas are accomplished, these are the two factors because of which our karmas are mixed. So that means there is either parapida or paranugraha. Parapida means torment to others, or paranugraha means it is benevolence to others. So when we do certain karmas, any karmas we can analyze that in our karmas they are benevolent to some people and they are malicious to some people. So we torment some people, we delight some people. So these are usually the mundane worldly activities which are ubhayatmaka, which are combinations of the two. So they have both punya and papa earned out of them. So those are usually the karmas of we commoners and committed on a worldly plane. So parapida and paranugraha are two, both the things are present in such a karma. For some people we give advantage and for some people we give disadvantage. For some people we give delight and for some people we give tormentations. So loss and gain are both in such karma. Somebody has a loss and somebody has a gain. So that's how the mixed karmas are. So it is to be noted that Vyasa first mentions the Krishna karma. And then little improved version of the karma is Shukla Krishna karma. It is little better than the previous one. Because the previous one is out and out vicious. Now this is a combination. Therefore it is second grade. It is little elevated to second grade, that it is combination of the two. And that is why after Because the sutra is mentioning karma Shukla Krishna. The sutra is mentioning first Ashukla or Shukla karma, and then it is mentioning Akrishna or Krishna karma. So Shukla Krishna is the order, but Vyasa has another order. He says first Krishna karma, then he comes to Shukla Krishna karma. So, and then thirdly he comes to Shukla karma. Shukla karma means out and out virtuous. So he says Shukla tapa swadhyaya adhyayana vatam sahi kevale manasya ayatatvad bahihi sadhanadhina na paran pidayitva bhavati. Then he comes to third kind of karma, which is usually of the nature of tapas and swadhyaya. You can't be doing a social activity or social favor or personal favor or favor to family members. That won't become punya karma. So-called virtuous deeds, which are good for some people, and we think that is a virtuous karma. But usually, Shuddha Shukla karma, pure virtuous karma, meritorious karma, is usually of the nature of tapa swadhyaya, which is a kind of subjectivistic karma. One is performing karma within oneself in tapas and in swadhyaya. So these are pure punya karmas. So let me make you aware of the fact that if you want to do pure punya karma, you must be engaging yourself in Vedadhyayanam and not doing some humane activity, philanthropic activity. That won't be pure punya. Usually we think that philanthropic activity, humane activity is virtue. But no, that is not the case. That is, they are mixed karmas. It is because of the sadhanas which are involved, the means through which the karmas are carried out, and the nature of karma itself. But now, see here, there is no external instrument. To do swadhyay, to do vedadhyayan, you don't have to have extraneous instruments. And then tapas. Tapas is also done within. The body, mind and breath, they interact with austerity within themselves. So someone outsider is not involved. So therefore he says Shukla tapas swadhyaya navatam sahi kevale manasyayatta. It is kevali manasya ayatya. It is manayatta. It is primarily done by one's own mind. It is done with regards to one's own mind. It is done with the help of one's own mind. You don't have to involve a second person. You don't have to involve a third person. So, therefore the instrument, the sadhanas are not extraneous. They are inherently within you, and therefore there is no question of parapida. There is no question of tormenting someone else. So, point is, Shukla karma is usually of the nature of tapas and swadhyaya. This is a point to be noted by the students of yoga. These are karmas of dhyanavanta people. These are people who are in meditative activities, where one is involved with oneself, one is engaged with oneself. So those are meditative activities. Dhyanavanta, they are called dhyanavanta. So these karmas, punya karmas, are of dhyanavanta people. So tapasvis, swadhyayis and dhyanis, they perform these karmas. Swadhyaya is basically study with regards to oneself. If I study you, it won't be Swadhyay. If I study something other than myself, then it is not Swadhyay. Swadhyay means it is study, self-study, that means study pertaining to oneself, by oneself, through oneself. So that's the point to be noted about. If you want to commit pure punya karmas, don't go out and search what can I do for you, what can I do for others, what can I do for outsiders. That is philanthropic act or humane activity, that won't be pure punya karma. This is a thing to be noted from Vyasa's commentary. So these are dhyanavanta people who can perform this. These are swadhyayavanta or swadhyayis who can perform it, or tapasvis who can perform it. Japavanta, namavanta, even those who are engaged in japas of mantras, it will be shukla karma. Namavanta, those who are engaging in nama sadhana, nama sankirtanam, so that will be pure punya, 100% punya. So those are shukla karmas. And these karmas are dependent on one's own mind. So that is another signature condition of punya karma, which is dependent on one's own mind, psyche, consciousness. All these like japa karma, nama karma, dhyana karma, all these are depending on one's own mind. Material is one's own mind. The instrument is one's own mind, and what is addressed and what is used and what is applied is one's own mind, psyche, consciousness. So those are signature conditions of punya karmas. Now, a layman will not understand what is punya karma. He will say, I have done good thing, it's a good thing, good job, virtuous job if I serve someone else. But that won't be pure punya karma. This is something to be taken note of. So, some people perform karmas which are apparently virtuous. And saintly people will perform the karmas which are inherently good. You and me, even if we perform karmas, they might be apparently good and not necessarily inherently good. But yogis are capable of performing karmas which are inherently virtuous, inherently meritorious, inherently good. And actually their very conduct of life itself, what is called as acharanam. Look at the acharanam of a punyavanta. Look at the acharanam of a meritorious, sagely, saintly person. But saints and sages of very high order, they perform such karmas, but there is no hetu, there is no purpose, there is no ulterior motive at all. While if we attempt to do these punya karmas, there will be something ulterior motive. But accomplished saints and sages, full-fledged saints and sages and yogis, they don't have any hetu. What is called as nishkama karma, which we have considered while we were dealing with Karma Siddhanta in the Sadhanapada, second chapter. So, basically, Vyasa makes us understand the three kinds of karmas. And also the fourth kind of karma, which is of accomplished saints, accomplished sages, full-fledged sages and saints, inherently sages and inherently saints, they have such karmas. And Vyasa mentions that explicitly in his statement, Ashukla Krishna Sanyasinam Kshina Kleshanam Charamadehanam. So, precisely the Ashukla Krishna Karma, neither virtuous and neither wise, is not something that we can perform. We mortals can perform. That's not at all in our domain. But who perform this fourth kind of karma, which is Ashukla Krishna or Ashukla Krishna kind of karma? Sanyasinam Kshinakleshanam Charamadehanam iti. So these are ones who are sannyasis, who are sannyasis of high order, who have renounced everything. They don't have any personal motive or aim or attainment. Kshina kleshanam. These are yogis whose kleshas are attenuated. Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, vidimvesha kleshas are made non-sproutable. They don't sprout anything. They are like burnt seed stage. That's called Kshina Klesha. Dagdha Klesha. And Charamadehanam. Those who are in their last incarnation, what will follow would be Kaivalya or Moksha or Nirvana. They are called Charamadehi in the terminology of yoga. Charamadehi. Charama means last and final. So those are in final embodiment. That is, they will not be taking rebirth. They won't be birth again. Once they pass away, there won't be birth. There won't be reincarnation. They are called Charamadehi, who are holding the last embodiment. Charama, last, final. So they can perform Ashukla Krishna Karma. Don't think that we will try to perform Ashukla Krishna Karma. Let's try to find out how we can perform the fourth kind of karma. That's not possible. We can perform only three kinds of karma. Trivida Itaresham, which Patanjali explicitly mentions. So they don't have motive, they don't have intentions. Not only they don't have kleshas, they don't have motives as well. So they are in their final embodiment. They are in their last embodiment. As I said, Charamadehi. So it is only possible for them. It's not that we will try to perform such karmas, that we cannot be performing such karmas. It is Charamadehi or saints and sages of very high order. The Jnanis, the Bhaktas of high order, yogis of high order, they can only perform. Because their karmas will be now non-productive. They will be engaged in karmas which sometimes we hear in Vedantic text called Jivana Mukta. A state called Jivana Mukta is described. We did discuss that on an earlier occasion, which I won't do now. So, their karmas are barren karmas. They don't sprout fruition. So that's how the Ashukla Krishna karma can be performed. Unless you are having these qualifications mentioned just now, there is no way that we can venture to do neither virtue nor vice kind of karma. So karma yogi, accomplished karma yogi, accomplished dhyana yogi, accomplished bhakti yogi, accomplished dhyana yogi can be performing this. So there is anupadanam, anutpadanam. Subsequently, there is no fruition out of such karmas. So, Um, that's how the fourth kind of karma is mentioned. So again, Vyasa comes down to ground level. He says, when there is papa bijam, it's a Krishna karma. When there is a seed of vice, then it is a Krishna karma. Apparently, it may not be Krishna karma, but if there is a seed of vice, then there is it's a papa karma. Because many times we have bad intentions, but we do good deeds, noble deeds, and the whole world acclaims for what we have done. They don't see the seed of our karma. So if there is a seed of vice, that itself means it becomes a Krishna karma. Apparently it might be Shukla karma. Apparently it may not be Krishna karma, but inherently it is Krishna karma because there is black seed. There is seed of vice. Papa bijam. So also the punya bijam. Sometimes apparently the act is vicious, but there is seed of virtue. It's a different kind of karma. That's why the mixed kind of karma is worth investigating. Inherently virtue, apparently vice. Inherently vice, apparently virtue. So this is little complicated conditions to analyze. But of course we have done while we were dealing with the karma siddhanta earlier. So we will not have to go there once again. So the point is, four kinds of karmas are mentioned. If you turn to Rajamartanda Vritti of Bhojaraj, so he says, one which gives Shubha Phala, auspicious fruition, auspicious fructification, such as Yajnayadi Shubha Karmas, Yajnayadi noble karmas. So he is influenced by the Vedic time where yajnas were performed, because Vedic dharma was primarily yajna dharma in classical periods, in classical times, and therefore he is seen influenced by that. They are Shubha karma, they are auspicious karma. So yajanam, mantram, ahuti, agni, all these things which are there in the yajna institution, the karmas performed are virtuous karmas. Because they are yajna karmas, yajna dharma. There is tyaga, there is offering, there is renunciation, there is ahuti, and so it is symbolizing tyaga, it is symbolizing renunciation and offering. So Vyasa is influenced by the Vedic periods where primarily it was yajna dharma. So there would be altar, there would be fire, there would be offering, there would be mantras, there would be rituals. So yajna kunda, yajna agni, and surrounded by the priest class, advaryu, prastota, etc., etc. There will be the priest class will be surrounding the yajnas. They will be having something to offer with the mantras. Now today we don't have this. So what is the punya karma today? So today it is totally different. We don't have yajna dharma. Yet we perform meritorious deeds, meritorious karmas. So that's how the Shukla karma is. But Vyasa has clearly mentioned in his comment, which a while ago I told you, it is Swadhyaya and Tapas, not the Yajna Karma. Yajna Karma is again mixed karma. There is combination of vice and virtue because it is Laukika Karma. It is Laukika Karma performed by common man. So Bhoja has lost advertence to that, or he has overlooked Vyasa's comment, and he has his own commentary to do, and that's why he has said that. While Vyasa clearly says Swadhyaya Tapas, Namak and Mantra Sadhana are Punya Karmas. So Bhoja says Tapa, Dana, Swadhyayadi are Punya Karmas. He also brings Danam, gifting away. So he brings Danam as well. And Tapa, Dana, Swadhyayadi, Shukla Karmas is what he is mentioning. And about Papa Karmas, he says, one who is entitled to go to infernal world is Papa Karma. Those are Krishna Karmas. One who gets Naraka Adhikara, one who becomes Adhikari for going to infernal planes, Naraka Lokam, that is Papa Karma. They are Krishna Karma. So we also had little peep into Bhojaraj Vritti, Rajamartanda Vritti. The Jivana Mukta of some of the Vedantis is Charamadehi. He doesn't have incarnation thereafter. And even Patanjalas accept this class, that they are in their last incarnation. They are called Charamadehi, and their karmas are also Ashukla Krishna. Because of the condition Punarjanmana Vidyate, there is no Punarjanma, there is no rebirth. And that's why the Charamadehi performs such karmas. He is at the threshold of moksham. He is at the threshold of nirvana. He is at the threshold of Kaivalya. So it's just to cross over, and then it would be final emancipation. So anyway, these are the different kinds of karmas. So as we briefly considered in the last session about the various Trivida karmas, Satvik, Rajasic, Tamasic, Prarabdha, Kriyamana, Sanchita. So Prarabdha karma is what we are facing today. In our present life, we are facing Prarabdha karma. Prarabdha is also of three kinds. Ichha Prarabdha, Anichha Prarabdha, Parecha Prarabdha, Arabdha, Anarabdha. So these are the karmas which analyzes the prarabdham or destiny. Modern man only knows about destiny. He speaks about only destiny. But the destiny is also having analysis here, which, as I said, arabdha, anarabdha, prarabdha. And the prarabdha is again of four kinds. Ichha prarabdha, anichha prarabdha, parecha prarabdha. Those who are keen, they should go back to the topic of karmas discussed earlier. So that's how the karmas can be upgraded, evolved, for us to really evolve in our psychic consciousness. And Bhagavad Gita comes very handy in understanding the whole gamut of karmas. It's a beautiful treatise on karmas. Uh, I recall about the Parecha Prarabdha. Usually, the Parecha Prarabdha is not our cup of tea. Parecha Prarabdha is isolated few who get that kind of Prarabdha called Parecha Prarabdha. You should recall the story of birth of Vyasa discussed on earlier occasion. Vyasa was born of Parashara and Matsyagandha, the fisherman girl and Parashara. And Vyasa was born. So it was special kind of birth. That is Parecha Prarabdha. It was ordained by divine scheme. And that's how Parashara, Matsyagandha came together. Vyasa was born. Such karmas are mentioned in a verse of Bhagavad Gita. Brahmani adhyaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti ya lipyate nasapapena padma patra ivambasa. So Bhagavad Gita mentions this kind of karma. Brahmani adhaya karmani. So that's a way of performing those karma. Brahmani adhaya. Offer to Brahma. Initialized by Brahma and offer to Brahma. Sangam tyaktva karoti yah. Which are performed without sangha, without attachment. Therefore, lipyate nasapapena padma patra ivambasa. So they do not afflict that soul because it is like padma patra, ivambasa. It is like lotus petal in water. It is like lotus in water where the water doesn't touch the petal. So that's how we can be understanding about these four karmas as we are delineating and deliberating on it. If we turn to Tattva Vaisharadi of Vachaspati Mishra, he has not really done any special mention apart from what Vyasa has mentioned. While if you look into Yoga Vartikam of Vijnana Bhikshu, he puts them, the four kinds of karmas, in gunas. Shukla karma is sattva pradhan. It is exalted sattva. Because punya karmas give you sukham, and therefore such karmas give you punyam, give you sukham as well. So there is sattva guna pradhanyam, because both are characteristics of sattva guna, sukham and punyam. The Krishna karma gives dukkham. Dukkham is rajoguna. Rajasastu phalam dukkham is what Bhagavad Gita says. So when the karma is going to result into dukkham or sorrow or torment or agony, then it is because of rajoguna. So it's a rajasic karma. So it is primarily rajasic karma. Rajoguna has preponderance. But Vijnana Bhikshu says tamoguna is inherently there in both. Whether it is punya karma or papa karma, the tamoguna is there. So that's how he brings three gunas in the karmas. In papa karma, it is sattva profused, sattva raja tama gunas. In vicious karmas, it is raja profused, sattva raja tama gunas. So that is what he clarifies. And the one which is transcending gunas, gunatita. So Bhikshu mentions the fourth kind of karma is gunatita. So he refers to three gunas in four kinds of karmas. So we have discussed the karma and karma phala. Like punya karma gives you sukham, papa karma gives you dukkham, and the mishra karma gives you combination of the two, and the gunatita karma will neither give you sukham or dukkham. So the karma phala have three vipaka in one sense. Now, actually, the Kaivalya Pada is commencing in true sense of the term from the 8th Sutra. Because so far we were discussing certain siddhis. We discussed the Janmantaranam siddhi and Nirmana Chitta, Nirmana Kaya siddhi. So far we were dealing with siddhis. Now actually we embark upon the quintessential Kaivalya Pada with 8th Sutra. So earlier 7 sutras are not really related to Kaivalyam, they are actually related to certain exalted siddhis, glories and attainments. And now actually Kaivalya Pada commences. This is something that one should take note of. Otherwise, one naively thinks that Kaivalya Pada commences with the first sutra, Janma Ushadi Mantra Tapas Samadhija Siddhaya. Naturally, textually it is true that it commences with that sutra because that's the first sutra. But then subsequently the certain attainments were described such as Jatyantara, Jatyantaranam and Nirmana Kaya, Nirmana Chitta. Now, it is again the sutra that we just now considered, the 7th sutra, is a link. It's a threshold between prologue to Kaivalya Pad and actual Kaivalya Pad. So we discussed the 4 kinds of karmas, and the 3 kinds of karmas have their fructifications. Now comes a topic of how the karmas fructify. It's not that only karmas fructify. How the karmas fructify. So another sutra, actually, although it is commencement of Kaivalya Pada in true sense of the term, yet it is going to commence with the karma phala siddhanta. Because it is the karma which keeps us bound. And when we are enfranchised from karma, it is Kaivalyam. So this is a threshold. And just now as the karmas were discussed, 4 kinds of karmas were discussed, 3 of them were subject to fructifications. And how the fructifications takes place is something that is discussed in the 8th Sutra. And then the whole passage to Kaivalya will be mentioned, described from Sutra 8 to Sutra 34, the last Sutra. So with that, we are ending the 7th Sutra delineation, and now we will be proceeding to 8th Sutra. 8th Sutra tells us about the fructification, how the karmas fructify. Tataha tat vipaka anugunanam eva abhivyaktihi vasananam. This is again very laconic statement. It needs to be opened out, which we will be doing in our next session. So enough for the time being. Namaskar all of you.